Do y'all ever make the absolutely detrimental mistake of scrolling through your Instagram following list and accidentally stumbling upon your dead best friend and then realize he's been gone for like 5 years? And then you realize that his bio said that he was 14 years old, which is absolutely crazy to you because you're about to be 20 in less than 3 weeks? Cause same. I'm trying my absolutely very, very best not to cry about it right now. Not that I feel like I need to cry about it. I actually feel kind of okay for the first time ever, but I think that me feeling okay is what's making me almost cry. Not because, I'm happy he's gone or anything, but just I don't feel the need to cry about it. And I think that's a good thing. I want to be able to talk about my friend or my friends without crying. But I don't know. It's also weird. In a complete opposite, mood, though, I had such high hopes for us this week. Because of the wonderful global warming, it has been very, very warm here for this season. It's been like 50s. And I was like, oh my gosh, we should go for a little walk because I genuinely need to get outside more than just going to work. I need to leave my house. So I thought that we could go on a cool little walk where we could see a pretty sunset. And we were going to do that yesterday. But then yesterday, it decided to snow. Snow. All day. I'm not even being funny. It was snowing. March. In the middle of March, we got our first snowfall of the season. And if that's not also global warming, I don't know what is. And if you don't know me, I do not fare well in the cold. So I decided, okay, we're just not going to do that. And I'll figure out something else for us to do. But now it's tonight, which is the next day, very late at night. And I still don't have any inkling of what to do. For once in my freaking life, my room is actually clean for the most part. There's just some cat toys I need to pick up. My life is actually really well put together. I have all of my stupid adulting stuff that I normally need to put on a wheel taken care of. The only things that aren't taken care of are things that I'm waiting for right now that I can't do anything else about. I kind of need to clean out the garage, but it's really cold, and I'm not going to be doing that when it's really cold because I will get hypothermia because I do not fare well in the cold. And then I wanted to clean out my car. That was my other thing that I thought we could do. But then I had an oil change appointment, and they vacuumed out my car for me. And my car was not clean. I took out most of the trash before taking it because I was like, I'm not trying to make it anybody else's problem. But they, actually vacuumed out my car for me, which they didn't have to do. And for whatever reason, I'm crying about this. What is wrong with me right now? I honestly just think that the weight of the world is a lot, and I actually have my shit together for once, and I don't know how to feel about it. I don't know what to do with myself. And I'm not even being funny. Ever since I've started posting consistently on here, since January, something in my life has been needing attention or needing help, or by me vlogging, it was me doing it. And that was the only way I was gonna get it done, which is true. But I don't have anything else. And now I don't know what to do. What do I do? Which sounds so dumb because I could do literally anything, right? That's the entire point of me having this channel, is that I can go and I can do whatever I want. But I don't want to go anywhere. And I don't want to do anything. And honestly, I think that might be part of the problem. Because I'm not depressed. Well, I have depression, but I'm not currently in a depressive episode. I actually feel like I'm doing well, which I think is also part of the problem, because then why am I like this? Everything's going right. Everything's going right, and I don't get it. I can't even do anything school-wise. I've graduated college. And no offense, but I am not going back to school right now, just so I can film content. God, can you imagine? Ugh, please, no. I guess technically there is one thing that I'm putting off, but there's a reason I'm putting it off. And I'm not trying to talk about it's a secret. It's not a secret. But I really need to get an actual steady job that's more than 10 hours a week. But I really don't want to. And it's not even in like the I'm a Gen Z and I don't want to work way. It is in the like by me getting a job, like a typical 9 to 5 job, even if it's just part-time, right? I genuinely feel like I have failed. Isn't that fun? That's so fun. I want my business to work for me so bad. I want it to be my full-time thing. And part of me thought that it would happen and everything would work out and I'd be able to do it full time and I wouldn't have to work at anything else. And it would work and I could do what I loved and I wouldn't have to sacrifice anything. I wouldn't even have to get a part-time job because I would be so cool and amazing that I wouldn't have to. But adulthood is officially here. It has been for almost 2 years and I haven't failed. But it feels like I have because I have to go get that other job. You know what I mean? And I know, and I've had so many conversations with my mom about this, about how I've told him like it genuinely feels like I failed. She's like, you do realize like where you are at in your business and the amount of time that you've actually been putting into your business since taking it actually seriously for 1.5 years, Paige. It's crazy what you're doing and how you're growing. And I've never seen anybody do it in the way that you have. Even among the small business people that I know, my growth is astronomical. And I'm so grateful for it. But I also I don't even know. I just want to be financially fucking stable. I do very much realize that is like a walking contradictory statement, by the way, for me to say that I want to be financially stable and then refuse to go get a job. I want to make it very clear that I'm not trying to refuse it because I don't want to. Because I don't want to, but not in the, oh my God, I don't want to work kind of way. It's in the, oh my God, I don't want to have to give up all that time that I'm spending on building my business and making it what I want it to be and what I know it can be. Like, I don't want to give that up. I know I'm going to have to, though. And that's my thing that I'm avoiding, is applying for jobs. I haven't applied for a single one. I think the worst part about it, too, is that because I A, went to school for it, and B, file my own taxes for my business, I know that if I get paid like $35 an hour, I wouldn't actually be making $35 an hour because of taxes. I don't have that childhood lens anymore that I had when I had my first couple of jobs when I was like 15, 16. I was like, oh my God, I made $800. Girl, no, you made maybe like $5. Because 30% goes to taxes. 35 to 40% goes to taxes. And that fucking sucks. I also think it's really hard for me to even think about going back into working a job that requires me to leave the house so much, because the last time that I had jobs like that, I had 2 of them at the same time. I was a hostess at a restaurant and working at a movie theater. I had to quit both of them because I'm not laughing because it's funny. My second best friend committed suicide and my great grandmother died within the same week at 16 years old. And let's just say I didn't handle that well. And when that happened, I did try to like continue going to work and continue on like everything was fine, but it wasn't working. And my mom was actually the one who ended up like pulling the plug and pulling me out of the workforce, if you will, which I'm actually really grateful for, because if she didn't, I don't think that I would have processed everything properly. Not that I haven't actually processed it properly, but I wouldn't have. I'd be struggling more. Oh my God, dude, my music is like all sad songs, and I might have listened to a sad playlist. Let me go change it. Dude, I was listening to a freaking ACOTAR or ACOWAR, A Court of Winds and Ruin playlist, and all it was giving me was fucking sad songs. That book isn't even that sad yet. I'm like halfway through it, but it was giving me like Ceilings by the Zoo McAlpine, and I don't even know, they were all sad. I was not having it, and especially because I didn't think it's helping me in my freaking crying issue. So it is what it is. C'est la vie. I don't even know what I'm filming right now. Like, I don't even know what the point is. I could just keep talking. I'm really good at talking. I've noticed that. I can just, like, go on and on and on. I've been thinking about that a lot. The fact that I can just keep talking, which I think actually stems a lot from the streaming that I do and the fact that I did that when I was in high school. I think it actually helped me with my, not my social skills so much, but, like, my ability to hold a conversation and just continuously keep talking. Although maybe that also stemmed from my childhood, I have no idea. I don't know why that was important, though. That's my freaking thing. I can just keep going, but it doesn't, like, the words I'm saying don't actually mean anything. I also wonder if it's like a, what would it be called, like a protection tactic, that I can talk about nothing so that I don't have to think about, like, the really heavy things that are happening, which for me right now is honestly just the state of this freaking country, dude. God, it's exhausting to even think about. I used to be one of those people who would say, I don't want to get political. But over this past year and a half, I have realized that literally everything is political. And if you have the luxury of saying, I don't want to get political, then what are we even doing? Honestly, I don't want to be one of the people who can just say, I don't want to get political. Because it feels so wrong now that I, like, know a little bit more about how everything works and how shitty everything is right now. Like, it feels so wrong for me to be able to sit here and say, you know, the world sucks, but I don't want to get political, so let's not talk about it. It's not fair. That's not fair of me to say. Which I think is also a huge thing that I'm like, God, I'm like screaming in my own head about it because I don't even know where to start, honestly. That's part of the issue. There's genuinely so much bad in this world right now, and it feels overwhelming and, like, all-consuming. And I think part of it is the fact that people don't know how to talk to each other anymore. Or I should say, people don't know how to have respectful conversations anymore. Well, I think a really good example of that is unfortunately politics, you know? While I know that the Hamilton musical is not an exact replica of what happened in history, something that I've noticed is that those people had conversations. Aaron Burr and Alexander Hamilton wrote letters to each other discussing their grievances before Aaron Burr shot and killed Hamilton. Spoilers. But tried to... No, they didn't try to talk about it. He shot him. Maybe that's not a good example. They had those cabinet battles, right? Like the cabinet meeting, they had cabinet meetings. Like they tried to converse. It seems like. Maybe not. Maybe that's not the point Mr. Lin-Manuel Miranda was trying to make. But I feel like people don't know how to talk anymore. And I feel like people don't know how to have respectful conversations anymore. Especially regarding politics. I think that half of that has to do with how high-strung everything is right now because of how tense the world is, because it's terrible. There's no other way to put it. It's terrible. Whether you are the left of the left or the right of the right, the state of the world is terrible. And America's leading the way. Honestly, it's leading the way. I do consider myself to be a liberal. Not, like, far left, but I think I lean more in that direction, or at least I identify as that. And honestly, as I'm sitting here, I was supposed to say simply because I think that I align with their views more of how there's human rights and the woman should be allowed to vote, and I want more gun control, and I want free lunches in school, I want free healthcare, I just want everyone to be happy, healthy, safe, and have wonderful lives, right? But the fact that that statement is one that we cannot universally agree on is so bizarre to me. How can anyone in any position in this world sit somewhere and even think, yeah, they're different from me, so they shouldn't be able to live a safe, happy, and healthy life? are you okay with that? Especially with how the world is right now. I repeatedly, all the time, try to put myself in the shoes of people who are more right-leaning, more Republican, or even people who identify as MAGA. Like, simply because I want to understand. And this is one of those things where I simply don't think I can even grasp the beginnings of the concepts of how they think. Because what do you mean you are okay with people dying because they think differently than you? Are you serious? How are you okay with that? Oh my god. I don't know where all of this hate came from. And I don't know why we're labeling it as political, honestly. Is it just political, or do some people think that without even bringing politics into it? Honestly, that's scary to think about. That's also really disheartening because how do you not care? How do you not care? I don't really like this statement, everybody's living for the first time. Because while everybody is living for the first time, I do think that perspective comes with more time. And more time comes with more perspective. And I say that because I have heard people say, you know, oh, it's my mom's first time living too, or it's my cousin's first time living too, it's my whatever's first time living too. Or I've heard people use that phrase as it's their first time living too as a way to justify things. At what point does it become ignorance? At what point does that cruelty become ignorance? As my father likes to remind me, I'm not 20 years old yet. I'll be 20 in like 3 weeks, okay? But how can someone my dad's age, he's like 54, 55, how can he sit there and be okay with anything, honestly? With anything? I especially think it's really hard for me, the whole political conversation, and honestly everything surrounding this, because I don't know if my dad even identifies as a Republican, but he did vote for Trump in the 2024 election. And when that election was taking place, I asked him outright who he was voting for, and he answered me. And it wasn't so much of a, like, I wasn't trying to convince him to vote a different way. I want to make that very clear. I never want to take anybody's vote from them. I think that everybody is entitled to their own opinion in their own way of life, in their own decisions. However, I wanted to know why he was making the choice that he was. And I asked him, I'm like, why are you voting for him? You know, what I just genuinely wanted to know. And what he said to me was, I like the economic plan that he has. And I'm like, what economic plan? And I asked him to describe it to me, and he couldn't. Or he wouldn't. I don't know. Now that I think about that, that was almost 2 years ago, and I don't know if he actually would have sat down to have that conversation with me. I don't know if he would have when I was 18. Was I 19? I still don't think he would have I was 18, but I still don't think he would have sat down to have that conversation with me. Because I don't even know if he would sit down to have that conversation with me now. And I mean literally just like explaining to me what his economic policy is. I don't think, or policy was, not is. I don't know if it's his, like, inadversion to see me as a actual adult, or the fact that him and I are two very different people. We are vastly different people and view the world so differently, and he just can't have conversations with me because of it. But I genuinely feel like I can't have conversations with him. I asked him about that when the election was happening, and he couldn't really give me a straight answer. And I bring politics up to him a lot. I asked him about the Super Bowl halftime show because apparently that's political now. And I asked him all about it. And I asked him, I'm like, what do you think about it? What do you think about what's happening? I asked him, he's planning on getting married in the summer, and he is having a destination wedding, and I'm invited, and I'm happy for him. But I asked him, like, with what's going on in the world, do you have a plan for what's going to happen if we get stuck in this other country? Or are you planning on moving your wedding or postponing it? Like, what's your plan? And he's like, no, we're still getting married. Why wouldn't we get married? And I'm like, do you see what's happening around you? Are you that ignorant to it? And he couldn't answer me. Wow, he couldn't answer me. I really don't think he knows how to have a conversation with me. And I absolutely do not want to group everybody who has differing political views from me in with the same group as my dad, okay? But my dad is the only person in my life who I keep in my life who has different political views from me. Which, the more that I think about it, I don't even know why. Because everybody else in my life who has differing political views from me and was not willing to have a conversation with me about it, I politely parted ways because it makes me feel physically ill. And I don't know why I can't do the same with him. It probably has something to do with the fact that he's like my dad or something, but whatever. Which I think honestly is what makes it worse. If I'm honest. It makes it worse that he can't have a conversation with me. That he can't justify it, that he can't, not even justify it, that he can't explain it. He can't explain why he does what he does in that sense. It makes me sad for him, honestly. It really does. I brought this exact conversation up to my mom a couple of times too. And she said to me that his entire side of the family, as far as she knows, has voted Republican his entire life and that he just doesn't know how to do anything different. And I truly believe that. I truly, truly do. I think that some people are so set in their ways and they can't even think about changing it, even if someone else's rights depend on it. It doesn't faze them, I don't think. And I think that's part of my issue too. I so badly want to be the change that happens in this world and the good that happens in this world because of how much bad there is and because of how much bad I've seen and experienced. I don't want to put that on anybody else in in any aspect. And maybe that might be part of the issue. Not an issue, but just a part of it too. I don't know, there's just so many factors as to why I feel what I feel and I do what I do. And I can explain it all to you. For the most part, I think. I mean, yeah, even like the bad things I've done in my life. Or the not so okay things that I have done. I can come to terms with it with myself. And I can have a responsible conversation with you about it. Why can't people do that, dude? Oh my god. And not even just on a political level, but on like a level period. I recently went through like a really, not a terrible, but a pretty bad friendship breakup that really, really hurt, honestly, now that I'm like sitting and thinking about it. Me and her were close for almost 2 years, which doesn't seem like that long in hindsight, but it was one of those friendships where we instantly clicked. And when I say instantly clicked, I mean instantly. Like, we were constantly on the phone. She would call me late. She lives completely on the opposite side of the world from me. So we were always calling each other at weird times. We always met at work. We would talk almost every single day, texting if not calling. And it just all fell apart. And it all started because I tried to bring up some things that were bothering me in our friendship that I wanted to talk about. And her response was, I don't think we should be friends right now. It's not good for my mental health, in a really roundabout way. And I want to make it so very clear that I 100% respect people's mental health and any like issues or reserves that they have with it. I get that. Dude, I do know how many people I don't talk to sometimes because of my mental health. I literally just said that I don't talk to most people who used to be close to me in my life who voted in the opposite direction as me because it makes me physically ill, which probably has something to do with my mental health. Like, I am not someone who can sit here and say that you should not put yourself over other people for your own well-being. I'm not here to say that, right? And I never even said that to her, but it was literally like, I want to have this conversation with you. And she was immediately like, I don't think we should be talking right now. I'm going to take a step back from this friendship. It's not helping my mental health without me even like, without a conversation even happening. I genuinely 100% believe if after our conversation, if we would have actually had one, had she said, thank you for having this conversation with me, I need to take some time to think about this, to decompress, to gather myself, and I want you to do the same in a respectful manner, I think that we still would have been friends. But not only did I not get that conversation, I mean, we tried to have a conversation, but it wasn't productive on my side because I was too emotionally unregulated at the time, and I wasn't, looking back at it, I wasn't saying what I needed to say, and it wasn't coming out in the way that it should have. And that's on me, but I think, I would like to think that some of what she said was not what she meant to, because some of the things that she said were pretty hurtful. So if we would have had a respectful conversation without yelling and without belittling and saying you do this because of this and just all of that, and taking some time, I think that we would still be friends. But instead, I'm blocked on literally everything. We ended that conversation with me saying that I needed to not have the conversation anymore because it wasn't going anywhere. And I had like mentally checked out, right? And then I woke up the next day to being blocked on literally everything. Everything. And like, what do you even do in that situation? Honestly, I could not believe that she blocked me on everything because of how close we had been. Like I didn't even get like a goodbye message or anything. It was just gone. Everything. So I went from disbelief to shock, honestly, and then hurt, and then anger. And now I'm just like peeved that we couldn't have had an adult conversation. And I think I've like mostly accepted it because I can't do anything about it. Like literally I can't do anything about it. I'm still blocked and everything. But like I don't know where people's ability to have conversations went, but I would really appreciate it if we could all find it again. Honestly. And that goes for me too. I'm sure that there's times where I've had to have conversations and I've done a really shitty job. I don't want to be sitting here and saying all this and acting like I'm on some sort of high horse because I'm the perfect person. I know how to communicate perfectly every time. Oh my God, I'm fantastic. Everybody else is in the wrong. I'm the only one who's doing fantastic. Like, that's not what I'm saying either. I'm sure that there's times where I've communicated poorly. Fuck, I communicate poorly all the time. There are times where I will go days, if not weeks, without responding to like my text messages or DMs from my friends simply because I have so much going on and I prioritize my professional, hopeful career path way more than anything else in my life that I just shut everything else out. And I'm a really shitty friend in that aspect, and I know that. And I'm not saying that while smiling because I think it's funny. I know that about myself, and I can recognize that as bad, and I'm trying to do better. It's not going well, but hey, after that friendship breakup, I only have so many friends left to still talk to. I'm kidding. I cope with humor, but like, I'm not here saying that I'm perfect by any fucking means, because I'm not. Look at me, dude. Come on, I'm not even 20. Okay, I don't know everything, but I do learn a little bit more every single year that I am alive, and I do hope that I put a little bit more good out in the world every single year that I am alive. And I want to continue doing that, honestly. I just want to continue living. I think with all my belly aching all the time, whether it's in my head, talking to a camera, talking to my mom, talking to my friend, talking to a wall, at the end of the day, I am just really happy that I am alive. I think we forget how much of a luxury life is sometimes, and I try to end every single bad thing that I talk about with that. As in, at least I'm alive. And I'm alive. I'm still kicking. Hopefully for 20 more years to come, too. And hopefully a little bit after that. Dude, what will I be doing at 40? That's crazy to think about. I cannot even imagine what my life is going to look like. And I don't really want to. I think this is where we're going to cut it. Because I don't want to think about 20 years in the future, let alone one. Let alone like 6 months, okay? Let's not do that. We talked about how I'm avoiding jobs, right? Yeah, let's avoid that, too. So with that, I think that's going to be our time here together today. I think I like these yapping sessions. Monthly midnight yappings. I just do one before. And honestly, I think it was most of the same things, but just, I think I was more angry that time, which makes sense. I kind of go through cycles. I'm not sad, by the way. Like, I know that I was crying, but I think it's just more like frustration. I unfortunately cry in every situation, which sucks, because, duh. If you cry, you're a woman and you're a pussy. My bad, bro. Let me close my tear ducts for you. Yeah. It is officially 1:16 a.m. So I'm gonna go hit the hay and sleep, because I probably should have been doing that hours ago. Thank you all so much for hanging out with me here today. I really appreciate you listening to my rantings. I think it's a great way for me to process things, and hopefully for you to either get some insight on life or my life, or just, I don't know. I feel like I talk about things that a lot of people are scared to talk about, but that could just be me on my high horse. I'm not trying to sit up there on my high horse. I need to stop doing that. I really do. Anywho, I hope that you guys stay safe, happy, healthy, and have all of the wonderful, beautiful, and amazing things happen to you and in your life until I see you guys next Tuesday. But with that, here's some peace, here's some love, and I cannot wait to see you guys on that said Tuesday. Peace, love, all the good things. Something's wrong. Something's wrong with my outro, because I normally go peace, love, all the good things. I don't know. But I'll see you guys next Tuesday.